Dipankar Banerjee, are we seeing in West Bengal? We know that 2 weeks ago there was that attack on the police station in Sakrail. Now this audacious holding up of the Rajdhani Express are we looking at a situation where the civil administration in West Bengal has completely collapsed?
Sagarika, I'm somewhat surprised by the elements that even our panelists have taken, the positions that they have taken. This is a blatant, coercive use of force by an armed group, non-recognized armed group, against the state. Now, fortunately, this has ended happily in the sense that no people have died, no serious accidents have taken place, but this could well have happened. Now, this must stop. I think this continuing coercive use of force for the sake of publicity, for whatever the reason, for whatever the objective, but this coercive use of force by non-state actors in the state, and of course, unregulated and unacceptable use of force by the state are clearly unacceptable in any civil society. And we must fundamentally, as a society, come to accept this reality. But there is no place for such coercive use of force, no matter what excuse one wants to give for undertaking such
But you know, Dipankar Banerjee, just to play devil's advocate, the rail roko agitations do take place in India. The Gujjars did something similar when they were agitating for ST status. Now, there was dialogue with the Gujjars. The state reached out.
Unfortunately, that's true. Because unfortunately, over the years, we have accepted that a degree of coercion on the state itself, by the citizens of the state, is permissible. Now, we must come to a civilized understanding amongst various sections of society.
But is this actually Shubir Bhowmik? I know you're saying that the Naxals have got a good name through this, but is this actually the Naxals, or are we looking here at at a political battle? Because both the Trinamool and the CPM are blaming each other. The Trinamool is saying the CPM has stage managed this. The left is saying that Chaturdhar Mahato is, of course, once a Trinamool member for a while, and they're involved with this. Yeah, go ahead.
You see, these politicians are really making a fool of themselves. Now, for 5 hours, Mamata Banerjee kept saying that this is the handiwork of the CPM. Then she suddenly makes an appeal to the Maoists, and then the people are freed. Now, what is her explanation? On the other hand, instead of looking at the fact that the Maoists are a force unto themselves, why should the state government, instead of taking tough action against the Maoists, just keep blaming the Trinamool? What is the politicians are making an absolute fool of themselves? But Sagarika, let me point out something here. If people think this is just a tribal action, I disagree for the very simple reason that when the force was approaching, when security forces were approaching the train, they were held up for about 2.5 to 3 hours by concerted, very coordinated firing. Now, that was certainly not done by tribals with bows and arrows. That was done by trained guerrillas. So, this is an action in which the bows and arrows wielding tribals were holding up the train, perhaps, and maybe pelting stones at the bogies. But this was also an action in the Maoists are involved, because otherwise who would fire so heavily?
These are armed guerrillas.
That is exactly the issue. We have to find out why so many tribals in so many parts of India have resorted to armed struggle. What has pushed them to that? I'll give you an example. Right now in Koraput's Narayanpatna, a peaceful agitation for tribal land is going on. For 3 years, the tribal panchayats gave a petition to the district administration to return the alienated tribal land. 3 years they failed. Then July 2nd, they started a march of 10,000 tribals for 15 kilometers. Then they occupied 3,000 acres of land. Now for the last 4 months, they have been negotiating with the government to distribute the alienated tribal land. Now, if you don't concede this, they will turn violent.
Well, this root cause theory about which Mr. Mohanty is talking, Well, I don't dispute that there are root causes for certain problems which erupt. But the root cause theory does not justify taking law in your own hands. It does not justify holding the state to ransom. In fact, for several years, this root cause theory was the justification for terrorism. But then the United Nations Security Council settled this debate. He said, whatever be the cause, whether it is social cause, economic cause, ethnic cause, but terrorism is a crime.
Terrorism is terrorism.
We are unfortunately,
and the state cannot resort to terror when dealing with them, and that justice needs to be done. But let's take a short break. We'll come back with lots more.